my name is Ursula Kilkelly and I'm a Professor of Law at University College Cork. And together with my colleagues in Queen's University Belfast, Professor Laura Lundy and her colleagues, and the organisation Inter-disciplinary, we've been responsible for the consultation with children in the global study on children deprived of their liberty. And we fought really hard for children's voices to be heard in the consultation, in the study as a whole, because children have a right to be heard, and we think it's really important that the study is also informed by the views and the perspectives and the direct experiences of children. It's a right that children have under Article 12 of the Convention on the Rights of the Child, and we also think it makes for a better study that children themselves are involved and have had their voices heard. So the first thing that we did was we undertook a literature review because we wanted to see what we already know about children's experiences and views on deprivation of liberty. So we did a review of the literature in the academic world. We looked at NGO reports, we looked at other studies that had heard directly from children. And we saw that very few studies had been undertaken that really asked children about their rights, and also very few studies that really were in any way large in scale. So there were lots of really important, good, small studies, but nothing that really engaged with children about their rights in any large sense. So what we set out to do then was we developed, and particularly my colleagues in Queen's University Belfast and the Centre for Children's Rights there, developed a toolkit which is rights-based and provides a transparent and ethical and clear methodology that we then asked NGOs around the world and others to use in consultation with children. So this toolkit is used for consultation, if you like, at a remove from those who are analysing the data. So we asked Inter-disciplinary, our partner, to engage with NGOs around the world and to see who would be interested and available to talk to children who are deprived of their liberty. As a result of that, organisations supported children to be consulted in 21 countries in total, and 267 children spoke to us. And so we've spent the last while looking at this really important data, hearing what children have had to say, and looking to see how best we can present the views of those children in the global study. So the teams together in Queen's and in Cork worked really hard to make sure that children's voices were clearly articulated as they had been told at their stories and as they were told to us, and really so that we could make sure that the study is informed by their experiences directly. What they told us was that their experiences were positive and negative of their rights. There were clearly breaches of their rights. Children felt unsafe. Children experienced violence at different times and in different places. But they also told us that they benefited from healthcare at times. They enjoyed education and that they had hopes for their future. So this was a really diverse and rich set of data that we think adds something really new to what we know about children's experiences of detention. It also spoke to children in all settings and across all those countries regionally. So we have a really rich tapestry now of the views of children that we're looking to inform the study by. We also think it's really important to acknowledge that children really experience detention within their own context. So every single perspective, every single view that each child has is valid and important. This isn't a representative study at all. This is the individual experiences and views and perspectives of those 267 children. So you can't extrapolate out and say that either detention is harmful for them all or that it's good for them all. Clearly there are lots of shades of grey in between, but there are positives and negatives to be taken from their experiences. The key recommendation that we make from what the children have told us is that children have a right to be heard and that we must work much harder to make sure that children are heard both in their everyday lives and decisions made about them when they're deprived of their liberty, but also at an institutional level and at a national level. So that's going to be an important recommendation, we believe, for the global study, that children in future, where they're deprived of their liberty, are heard at every stage of proceedings and have an opportunity to have a say in how they're treated. We also look forward to ensuring that the other recommendations and the other views that children expressed in our consultation are also fed into different aspects of the global study, and we look forward to working with the independent expert and his team to make that happen.